So a couple days ago, I was on the internet and I saw a video thumbnail. It was an interesting thumbnail. It caught me off guard. And in big, bold letters, it said, "No friends, no family, just work." And I looked at it and I said, "Oh, that's a little interesting." And I moved on for the rest of the day. And I kind of carried on and moved along. But little do I know is that was a catalytic moment, or catalytic moment, creating words and memories. That moment was a catalyst for change, and I didn't even know it. I just moved along, and now I look back, I'm like, wow. But what do I mean by that? Let's dive into it. First, after that week, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I've learned a lot. What have I been working on? The exact opposite of what that thumbnail said. Friends, family, getting away from work. You see, I had bought in to the image of the entrepreneurial man. I had bought into it. Oh, I just need to work hard, put my head down. They'll see, they'll rule the day when Liam comes. Oh, I've got them now. No. I had thought that was the end. That was the way. That was the goal. Just put your head down. Friends and family don't matter. Just keep working. You'll get there. You will be the best. You need to turn everything out. Lights out. I hate to break it to you, bro, but life's a lot more complicated than just work. And work is very important, but that's a one-sided picture right there. This life is three-dimensional. That's a 1D picture. So let's dive into that. And just as a disclaimer before we get into this, I'm not an accredited psychologist. I'm not a source of eternal wisdom, but this is what I've learned from others wiser than me and from what I've observed over the last couple weeks. For me, what did I need to change? And I just wanted to share that with you. And my name's Liam, and I've been on this little journey of trying to become the best man I can be. And hopefully I'm helping some guys out there along with me to succeed in their own journeys as well. So let's dive in. Number 1, relationships take time and talk. These two things kind of are the building blocks to have a firm foundation for a relationship. Whether you're dating, whether you're having a friendship, whether you just met somebody on the side of the road. Like, if you don't give them the time and you don't talk, it's very hard to build a good relationship off of that. So that's my number 1 is I got caught not doing that. In my head, I was just work. I just need to focus. I need to focus, and don't talk to anybody, and I'll just get it done. And who would have guessed that my relationship suffered from that around me? My friendship suffered, and I got called out on it. And I have to admit to myself, hey, I think I've made a mistake here. This is important to me. I need to fix this. So I have to now take time out of my day. Oh my gosh, I'm never going to be successful. I'm not spending 24 hours of my day on work. I need to take the time, and I need to just talk it out. Communication is the way you build these relationships, and that when you get to that point, you'll realize how much that matters. When you get to the point of nearly risking your relationship, you'll realize that it's the relationship that matters. Isn't there a song that goes, if you love it, let it go? No, let's do the opposite. If you really want that relationship, you love that relationship, you got to hold on to that, because Satan's going to try and wrestle that out of your arms, and he'll never stop. And you need to keep talking. You need to keep spending the time to keep it there. And that brings me to my second point, which is, well, okay, I'm fighting for this, but what does all matter? These relationships, these friendships you build, the godly friendships you build with other men, the godly relationships you build with other women, your mom, your family, your sister, your brother, your dad, those are the only things that matter in this life. again, we've been told all of the wealth, all of the power, all of the riches that you build on this earth are finite. They'll fade away. They don't go with you when you die. You only have a certain amount of time. But there's one thing that you build on this earth that keeps, like, you can keep forever. It's those godly relationships that you're building with other people, because those continue up there. Those relationships that you built now blossom. They become more real. They become better up with the Father. And in the Father's love, you get to love others more than you ever think you can. So when you're feeling a little down, I don't know if this is a worthwhile relationship or whatever, I don't know if this friendship's gonna work out, just remember, like, these are the times that matter. You're storing treasure up in these people around you in heaven. Those are the things that matter. Number 3, I kind of touched on earlier, but it's guard yourself. Barricade, build a fortress around these friendships, because this is Satan's playground. This is his bread and butter, his moneymaker. The space that we allow and the times and the differences we have between each other, though in those relationships, that is his magic time. He loves to use that little tiny space. The little miscommunications, the mistimed opportunities, the I'm hungry or I'm tired times, the times where it's a little tense or stuff, those times are, he's just setting up the little plans to break apart. Because he knows if he breaks us apart and he gets you alone, you believe that there's nothing else for you. You're alone. There's nobody out there for you. But newsflash, you're never alone. You can't be alone. Because you've either chosen to be a slave to the devil, or you've chosen to be free, working in obedience for Christ and building those relationships around you. So guard those things. Be vigilant is number 4. We're going to go over that. Guard yourself of those temptations, those attacks. This is a war. You're constantly under attack. And he doesn't stop. He's going to hit you even harder when you're tired. He's going to hit you even harder when you're hungry. He's going to hit you hard when you've made a bad mistake. Like, these are the times he wants you to get there, because he knows he can beat you there. He has the easiest time there. And you need to build up fortresses, walls, and think through what would be his attack here. Be ready. Pray to God that you can be ready for those attacks, and that God is also there to protect you, because he's powerful. As much, you gotta respect the enemy, because if you don't respect him, he can win. You won't be ready for him. And number 4, I just touched on, is be vigilant. This is the one that I've really hit over the last 2-3 days, is I was not vigilant. I didn't know what was going on. It's very hard to fix something when you're ignorant of it. If you didn't know your washing machine was broken, you'd have a very hard time fixing it, because you wouldn't be fixing it at all. You have to be aware for these things. You have to be looking around and saying, where am I in these relationships? What are the things I need to work on? What are the things I'm falling? What are the things I'm stumbling on? Because the faster you can fix those things, the stronger those relationships will be. And those relationships are what matters. So I feel like I've kind of been a little bit of a barking dog, yelling at you like, you gotta fix these things. Hold yourself accountable. These things are important. But when you put these pieces together in a plan and you build deep, solid, rock steady relationships on Christ, your life will be more wealthy, will be richer than anybody. You have truly a satisfying life at that point. And I'm not joking. That relationship with Christ that you have is already enough to satisfy you forever. Paul literally walked around his entire life and was beaten and accused and ridiculed by all of mankind. Yet he's the happiest man we know, right? He was one of the happiest people. He never complained. And in the same way, building those relationships and building them deep rooted in Christ, with the people around you, with God, there's no words to describe how amazing that feels and how satisfied you feel inside. That is a joy you can't take away, because you realize I'm not alone. This world is not my home. This world is not my all, because I've got these people around me. I've got my Father in heaven that build a beacon of light for anybody to see how amazing our God is in building those relationships with another. So it's hard to go and attack these things and be accountable to yourself and fix what's broken, because there's a lot of things that are broken. But when you strive to fix those things, and you get on the other side, trust me, it's worth it. It's worth it 10 times over, 20 times, 100 times. Because not only are those going to be the greatest things of your life, they're going to be the greatest things after your life, throughout all of eternity, because you built them now. So I encourage you, I charge you, go out there and find somebody that you can go and start a nice conversation with. Be kind to one another. Like, build each other up. Let language that comes out of your mouth not be daggers, but building others up and building their confidence and building the love that you have for them in them for you. And I think I'll leave you there, because I don't want to hold you much longer, because this is what really matters in life. Go out there and attack, not with a sword, but with a towel and some water, and wash the feet of the rest of the world, because we as Christians are truly the servants of others, and that shouldn't be a bad thing. That's a good thing. Wash each other's feet, build each other up in love and righteousness, and it's been a pleasure. I'll see you on the next one.